This is Cal from Nerdy Weasel. I recently had the pleasure of interviewing JawZ, the creator of Relighting Skyrim and enhanced lighting for E&B. We discuss his mods, a recent decision that made waves in the modding community, and his future as a mod author. I hope you enjoy it. Hey JawZ, welcome to the show. I really want to thank you for coming on to be interviewed today.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me.
As many people know, you are a mod author for Skyrim. Not a whole lot of mods, but the ones you've published are extremely well done. Can you give us a rundown of the mods you've put out there or worked on in collaboration with another mod author?
I'm guessing you're talking about Relighting Skyrim and ELE.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all started with what I call it OLSE. I think I call it Overall Lightning System for EMB. I think it was named, and that was the first mode to actually cover most of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But this was way before realistic lighting overhaul or the other popular mode ELFX was even out. I think realistic lighting was out, but this was before Sydney 666 or whatever it was. I can't remember right now.
Sure.
It was a long while ago. Anyway, then a user commented on OLSE that Relighting Skyrim after Novak Dalton sought out someone to help him, I think it was. And we started talking, Novak Dalton and me, and we decided to work together, and then I jumped into Relighting Skyrim. And then I worked on ELE on my own for a little while and published it.
Seems to work out pretty well. So have you done any other mods, or have you worked on other games in the past that kind of led to this point, or was Skyrim your first venture into modding?
No, it was Oblivion back in 2005. Just made some relocation mods of the college of the Magic College, whatever it was named, and smaller modes just for myself mostly. And then I forgot. Then my email was hacked and I couldn't access my account, and then Skyrim went along and I started modding again, more or less.
Got it. Do you work on other games, or is it just Bethesda type titles?
No, it's mostly Bethesda because the tools are so easy and intuitive to get to, and I know them like the back of my hand almost.
Yeah, a lot of modders get to that point. I wish I was that way. Tell me, without revealing too much, can you tell us a little about your background? Are you in computers and software? Has anything kind of helped you get into modding or pushed you in that direction? Anything to help you create your mods?
No, not really. I'm not in any way computer work affiliation whatsoever. I am an industrial worker, and I have just relied on my common sense to get me along with both coding and modding in general.
Got it. Kind of learn by doing and then get good at what you're doing. So I understand.
Exactly.
How did it feel to have your work accepted as widely as it did? I mean, the guys over at STEP, the Skyrim Total Enhancement Project guide, basically adopted the combination of ELE and Relighting Skyrim as their sort of definitive lighting mods over the more established ones like ELFX or Realistic Lighting Overhaul. And then the community really kind of embraced it, and even I have said, this is the best lighting overhaul I can find. How did it feel to be that successful?
A surprise, to say the least, but STEP is mostly focused on keeping the vanilla gameplay, visuals, and everything. Just improve upon it, and that was the only thing I wanted to do. I have never been much to overhaul any visual aspect of the game. I just wanted it to make it look and work better for my own gameplay. Seeing it grow and in popularity like it did, it's awesome. Really, it's awesome.
Yeah, you've definitely received a lot of accolades. You know, between the different mods, you've probably got tens of thousands of endorsements. That is really quite an accomplishment. But With that success, has it come with any downsides? Can you kind of describe some of the negatives about becoming a big time modder?
Well, the constant, what would you say? Well, you have to constantly work on the mob threads to keep up the information, keep getting all the information in there just for the end users. So I don't always have to hold their hands and get through the installation procedure, the compatibility issues and whatnot, and that's really taxing. It was never meant to be something I would do on a regular basis. I was thinking of just uploading it, and users will have to do it, work out the issues themselves. That was the plan anyway. I just mode it for myself, and some users just came to me and, why don't you share it? Okay, gonna try it. So the issue for me is handling the modes online. That was the big one.
Keeping up the community and, just keeping up with updates and handling bug fixes, I imagine is pretty taxing. I know that from personal experience, the few things that I've released, it is a constant grind. And it does become, it kind of wears you down at a certain point.
It takes you away from being a hobby to almost being a work and a work effort instead of just doing something for the fun of it.
Yeah, I understand. And recently, you even pulled your mods from the Nexus. What was the final tipping point? What made you get to that drastic of a move?
Well, it was not just one thing, and just to take it up, I saw a Reddit user posted that user was the reason for me pulling my modes, but it's not just one user, it's a lot of them. And the fact that I don't want to keep on doing modes for others just for the sake of doing it. I want to do it because it's fun. So I pulled it to make everyone notice that I'm going to quit, and to make the issue of having users complain and not doing the research, not doing just reading the comments and frequently asked questions, remarks, and everything like that. Just keep on thinking that, hey, how am I going to post this question? And it will be faster than just searching for an answer.
Do you think it's more from user abuse? Were they, abusive or derogatory towards you? Or was it more they just weren't reading what was happening? They weren't reading about the mod, understanding load orders, and just the lack of comprehension of what they should be doing as mod users. Which was it?
Well, the fact that they didn't take the time to understand how complicated for a new beginner it is to install and maintain a load order of several modes. It's just not click and it's done. It will take time. And the thing I think most users that comments badly, if you would say that, is because they're mostly lazy or just want to have it done quickly, fast, so they can get into the game and play.
And that just doesn't work with Skyrim or modding at that complex of a level. They have to read and understand. So I can probably understand your frustration with that. But you, shortly thereafter, you brought them back to the Nexus, and we were all, greatly relieved to have them back. Why the change of heart?
I was never going to remove them completely. It was just for a brief moment to let the end users know I have had enough of this type of behavior from them. I was never going to delete them or remove them completely. It was just for a brief moment.
Okay. And we've seen other mod authors do that. Eleonora, a few of the other mod authors that kind of pull it to make a point and to bring recognition of a problem to the community. And hopefully by doing so, you'll make that point to them to say, hey, I pulled it for a reason, to get attention and to bring awareness to the problem. So I can perfectly understand that. But you've also decided to retire from modding completely. Is there more to it, or you're just worn out and you're tired of maintaining the mods and creating stuff? Is there other factors involved?
I want to mod. That's not a problem. I just want an indefinite break, you can call it. I have been modding for so long. I just want to take a break, at least but the way I see it now, I'm gonna do it like I did for Oblivion, which I haven't mowed for 12 years, and I am thinking of doing something. I have been thinking of doing something for it, but that will be mostly EMB series related, perhaps modding and coding like that. But I will mode for my own game, for my own personal use, not publish anything official, and just do it from time to time, not like I have had it recently, like a work effort. It's just too much for now for me. I want to focus on other things.
I can understand that. I believe in one of your comments on the Reddit, you did kind of allude or reference a enhanced lighting for ENB for Fallout 4. Is that true?
Yeah, I have. Wait, did you say EMB or ELE?
ELE.
Yeah, ELE is not officially released, but it's available as a VIP for, I think it is only Xbox One users on the Bethesda right now.
Any plans to bring it to the Nexus and finishing it up before you kind of take your break?
I'm going to fix the current bug reports on every mod I have, and then I'm going to release ELE for Fallout 4 as it is. I will not include all the features I plan, but it's a good base as it is now. It fixes most of the lighting issues, especially in the Institute interiors.
That sounds like a good news. I'm sure people will be looking forward to that. You mentioned ENBs. You do work with ENBs. Do you know Boris, or do you have contact?
No, I know of him more or rather. I have had some conversation with him, but not that extensive.
So no collaboration. That was one of my questions from the community, if that you actually work with Boris in any way. Because of the nature of your mods, they are lighting based, which is a lot of what ENBs do.
I was in the early days of Skyrim back in 2012 when I first knew about EMB series. I started helping people because I was an active commenter on HD6 Cinematics EMB series preset, and I figured why not go to source and help and comment on that site, and then I got so far along, and as I did a guide for it.
Let's go back to the quote-unquote controversy and why you pulled the mods. What can the community, namely even the Nexus, what can we do better to help the mod authors with the problem of this abuse or lack of awareness from the mod users? What can we be doing?
Well, in the simplest way, take your time with reading. That's the biggest issue. But not everyone will listen to this or read Reddit or whatever. They will continue on, and they probably the most of the bad commenters are young people who haven't understand or have the right mood or temper for commenting, and taking your time to understand that this will take some doing to get it right. Again, it's just as simple as taking your time to read the description pages, to read the facts. Take your time and go into the forums, enter your question in the search bar. Most likely there will be an answer in there somewhere.
Other big name authors have told me they basically ignore or just don't even pay attention to the comments sections, and they kind of ignore the abuse or the inane comments of those who don't bother reading. I know that's easier said than done, especially as a YouTuber, I get a lot of those. Is that just not part of who you are as a person? Are you trying to help people all the time? And is it just the wearing down, or do you think that you can just turn off the comments and make your mods without that input? What do you think is going to be better?
Well, it's based on the person, I would say. Ignoring it if you can, or disable the comments, or do both. Whatever would work for the end user, the mod author in question. For me, I can ignore it, sure, but it still gets to me. I want to help people, but while reading the comments, I have to read perhaps 10, either idiotic or useless or that doesn't have anything to do with this mod, and then there's one commenter that actually ask a question that's never been asked before, or is a very easy answer, or it is already well answered or something. The fact that I have to read 10 commenters before I reach that one person that really needed help, that's the issue for me. I have to read the comments to see which one I can help and which one actually needs help, because I don't know if there is any source of information for that particular question.
Sure. Do you think the Nexus could put out modding guides that would help people, or are we kind of stuck with the model of people like me doing tutorials or written tutorials to try and help people, like the step guide, that maybe we can better inform or teach people, but I'm not even entirely sure that will work, because if they're not willing to read basic description of the mod, what makes me think that they're going to read an entire guide from the step forums? I can understand that frustration. And when you do that, it takes away modding time for you, trying to separate what you can and can't do as far as helping people and making mods, which is what you really want to be doing. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds right, actually. And I don't personally have anything that will magically fix all of this, but one thing for commenters is to not make it so easy to access a comment, or to enable commenting on a mode. We will have to read the fact, perhaps, like recent install files with licenses. You have to scroll down the list of text before you can click the next button or something. That's just the top of my head right now, though.
Right, I understand. That's something Nexus could be doing a better job of. I agree. Do you ever have a problem with the commenter abuse? Are they beyond just commenter ignorance? Do you have a problem with the user abuse towards mod authors? Is that a common thing that you've experienced?
Well, no, I don't have a problem with people being mean. People will be mean when, from the various points of view and whatever they have going on their own life. It's the internet, after all. They want to vent it somewhere, then they found the internet. But I don't personally have a problem with people who are offensive or abusive or something like that. That's the kind of people I ignore, block, or whatever.
Good. Glad to hear that. It doesn't bother you that much. Let me just say, I appreciate the work you've done. I appreciate everything that Enhanced Lighting for E&B has done to us, or done for the game. I appreciate Relighting Skyrim. You did that originally in collaboration for the Legendary Edition, then you brought it to Special Edition. It's two of my favorite mods, and they're really my go-tos. And I'll have to say that if you do permanently leave the modding community, I'll be sad to see you go. I recommend your mods on a regular basis, and just knowing that a small segment of the community has left you with such a bad taste in your mouth is kind of disappointing. I think we all can do better about reading the instructions, reading what goes on, and even on my end, I will do a better job of my videos of reminding people, read the instructions. The information there from the mod authors is there for your benefit, not just to fill space. So I want to thank you so much for joining me, give me your side of things, and to express your opinion.
Yeah, thank you. And just on a side note, I have officially turned my modes in Relighting Skyrim over step team for handling and future mode and commenting.
Oh, I understand. I understand now. So you've kind of turned over the mods to the step team. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, precisely, because they are using it in their guide, so I figure why not let them have the editing privileges alone.
Which of the step team is heading up that, by the way?
I don't have any knowledge of which one will do it, but I hand it over to Tech Angel for working on it. He will assign it to someone or take it on himself. I don't know. It's up to him.
That's really good news that he'll continue to get updates. And Tech Angel and those guys are really smart. They'll take very good care of your mods for you. And I hope that we will all see ELE for Fallout 4 sometime in the near future, and I want to thank you for doing that as well. I know I'll be doing a modding guide for Fallout 4 very soon, and I'll include that in my playlist. So once again, thank you so much for coming on, and I want to wish you the best of luck in the future.
Thank you for having me, and the same to you.
I hate doing plugs, but here it is. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I've also started a Discord server where you can chat with me if you have questions or just want to say hi. You can also join me on my weekly Twitch streams where we do live modding and play games. Or even follow Dirty Weasel Media on Twitter. All the links are in the description of this video. My name's Cal, I'm from Dirty Weasel, and I'm signing off.